So I wanted to start with just some background information of you, what makes you a good candidate.
Thanks. Like I said, my name's Katie Lowe Lancaster. I am 3 generations of Linn-Mar grads, Linn-Mar as a parent, and now I'm also a Linn-Mar grandparent. So I'm kind of from here and love being a part of my community. My husband was military, and when it was time for us to get out of the military, we found a way we kept comparing Linn-Mar to everybody else, and we said, what if we came back? So we found a way to come back home and went specifically because of the school systems.
For sure. And then, just occupation wise, what were different things that, you did, if you didn't work, did you volunteer, anything like that?
I have spent a lifetime. I have always been not only in my home, I've been out in the world professionally, paid employment, but also I am a lifelong volunteer. I just have always found a passion for leading the community for which I've been a part of. So even in our days in the military, I was part of those local support groups, but I also taught parenting classes. I also was part of scholarship programs and running thrift stores in our communities. I also have always served in my community of faith. That's really important to me as well. And that is where my I would say most of my professional background is in. Not only because it is what I do passionately, but I've spent the time to study, and I've got a degree in that area, and I'm always learning about not only about how to share my faith, but also how to be in community, being generous and welcoming to one another, always welcoming one to another.
For sure. And so now, you said Linn-Mar has been, a part of your family for a really long time. So why are you deciding to run for the school board?
Wow. Awesome question. I'm running for school board because that's how you care for your neighbor. It is how you respect the community for which you live in. It is how you are part of the civil discourse and conversations with one another. Is how we serve at this nonpartisan level of schools. I am from Linn-Mar and for Linn-Mar. It's pretty simple as that. I am the product of being educated well and being surrounded by a community that not only supported my ideas, but supported me and prepared me for life beyond graduation. I married a Linn-Mar graduate. All my kids have married Linn-Mar graduates. My grandkids are now in the school district, and it's that commitment that we see in not only the homes and the families in the surrounding area, but the commitment of educators to our kids and to other parents to one another. That's what we wanted for our kids, to be surrounded by this commitment to one of the finest, I believe, school districts in the state of Iowa, fine arts, all the way to academics, all the way to athletics. It's somehow able to just come together in one community. And I wanted my kids to see the fullness of that as a reflection of what life would be like after they graduated from high school.
And so if you are elected, what do you feel your role is as a school board member?
Wow, that is a great question, because when I was in the process of discerning whether or not to run, you have sometimes, I think, this idea as a child maybe, or even as a parent, the authority or power you think your school board has to solve your personal issues. And then you find out that truly the state of Iowa legislation is the governing body of how public schools govern locally. They take the laws and they put them in best practices in that school district. That said, what I hope to bring is civility. I hope to bring collaboration. I hope that my personality can show what it means to say, I am a product of Linn-Mar, and now as a leader of Linn-Mar, this is how we treat one another when we make big, huge decisions. We're willing to research, we're willing to collaborate, but we're willing to have those hard conversations, knowing each one of us as a Linn-Mar School Board member has one vote, but together we have one decision. I personally can't make promises. I cannot do something myself. What I can do is be a part of a larger group that makes one decision so that together we move this district forward. So I'm learning a lot, but I also have just watched with month after month of these school board meetings. I've been in attendance and watched how they work well together. And at times when there is some friction, especially from the community outside, and that community causing maybe a narrative that shows more conflict than it does cooperation.
So my next thing is there's a good amount of people on the school board. I want to say there's seven, but I could be wrong on that.
Seven.
Seven, there are seven. Okay. So there's seven members. So if you're elected, how does your background and who you are, how is that going to help you, work with these six other people to come to a conclusion that's best for the school district?
An awesome question. And again, I think that the best way we can be in community with one another is first listen. I don't come with my agenda. I come with the Linn-Mar agenda, the strategic plans to move this district forward, to continue this tradition of excellence. That was a tagline when I was going through, and we all knew it. And maybe we didn't understand what the tradition meant, but we knew what excellent meant. It meant that we would get the best in our needs, the best to help us move forward personally. I'm a listener. And also as a listener, I listen to ways we can collect. I love partnerships. I love collaboration. I love it when I can hear an idea and I can say, here's what I'm thinking. I hear you saying, is that correct? And then also being able to learn. And when we learn, we're able to also say, now that I have more information, now that I took the time, I would like to ask this new question, or I would like to ask for more information. Sometimes we just keep hearing the same question being asked over and over again and answered, asked again and answered. I would like to ask questions that would move dialogue forward. And then with my own personality, hopefully be a collaborator and supporter of the other individuals that have chosen to share their time and their gifts for leadership on the school board.
And then is there anything else you want Iowans to know about you, as they head to the polls?
Thanks. I love my community. I have worked tirelessly to move things forward, such as parks and recreation. I have chosen to live on the family farm, but is now surrounded by homes and the Linn-Mar School District. I remember the road in front when it was a gravel road. I am proud of how we are able to continue our vibrancy, but also continue to meet the needs of how you educate students moving forward for a future world of where especially technology will dominate. All the while, though, it is still a core value to respect one another and have dignity in our dialogue with one another, agreeing or disagreeing. It is how we treat one another. Our children are indeed watching, and in watching, they are learning.
And then just kind of my last thing, obviously the Linn-Mar School Board and District has been in the news a lot nationally and locally for different policies and things like that. What role do you think that will have in this election? And, do you think it should have a role in this election?
Well, I hope because Linn-Mar is known nationally already for its music programs. It is known for many of the different things in competitions across the nation. We have forgotten that. We have national merit scholarship winners at our school. I would love the school to be known for, even my husband was an Air Force Academy graduate. That's a national honor. We are hearing only about the discourse, about how we are confronting one another badly. And that seems to be what is making national news. I want to reclaim our narrative. Linn-Mar is an amazing place with amazing families, amazing students, and awesome educators. I want to reclaim it so that when someone speaks of it, they say, I know that school. I know it well because I have heard the positive ways it is creating a community to prepare students for a life beyond graduation.
I think that just about covers all of my questions. Is there anything else that you want to mention, let voters know, anything like that?
No, it's been fun, but a little overwhelming at times, just the whole process. I know how to be a leader, and this candidacy thing has been a little scary at times, but scary just because of unknowns. But I know I can do this.